Hey y'all, it is Miss Romans again with our Thursday Ag Daily. Today we are going to learn a little bit about kind of agronomy and ag mech all in one. So we are going to learn about planter parts, planter maintenance. We have a special guest with us today, Mr. Allen, Farmer Allen, whatever you want to call him. And he has at work today taking apart the planter as they do some maintenance on it, since we got a cold snap and a cold stretch back here in the mow, but also you guys did as well. So Alan, can you tell us kind of what you're doing right now?
I am getting ready to take these gauge wheels off and replace the bushings and grease seals on there so we can get the right distance between the gauge wheels and the disc openers where the seed trench is, where the seeds go into.
Okay. So what does proper distance have to do with planting? Is it vital? Is it key? What does that have to do?
It is pretty vital. Well, not pretty vital. It is vital, because if you don't have the right seed depth or anything like that, it's hard for the plants to come up and just get started, take off and grow, which is what every farmer wants.
All right, so I know you're a little busy there. What other maintenance do you guys do on these planters before you take it out? Also, before we get started, before we keep going, what kind of planter is this? And how many rows does it do?
We have a Kenzie 3600. We've got 12 corn rows and 11 bean rows, so that's 23 rows in total. As far as maintenance, we go through and grease it every day before we take it off and go plant. We check tire pressures, we lube up the chains, pretty much just grease it up and look it over really well, make sure all the bearings are in the gauge wheels, disc openers, closing wheels, and the coulters, and make sure all the chains are where they're supposed to be, and all the down pressure springs, and just make sure everything's where they're supposed to be when we take off and when we're ready to roll.
Okay. Does this planter use GPS?
No, it doesn't.
No. It's a little bit older, huh?
Yeah.
So before you keep going, can you walk us through one of these box parts all completely? What does it do? So what's this box do here?
So we have the seed box, and it sits on there just like that, and that's where the seed goes into.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the seed meter right here, which is where the seed gets distributed out of.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the whole row unit, which is this whole complete thing.
Mm-hmm.
Inside here, we have what we call the seed tube. Up here is the NoTill coulter, which just cuts the ground, makes it easier for the the seed openers, which are these discs here. Then we have our gauge wheels, which helps firm the ground around the seed openers. And then we have our closing wheels, which closes up the seed trench after the seed goes through the seed tube.
Okay, so you talked about no-till. Really briefly before we wrap this up, can you explain to our people what no-till versus conventional till is?
No-till is where you just pull into a field without doing any tillage and just plant it.
Okay.
There's grass cover and corn stalks and that kind of stuff still in there. Then conventional till is what we still do before we go in and plant corn. It's where you work the ground and get it aired out and get it all the grass and everything off the field, so when the corn goes in, it's just got a nice clean seed bed when it goes in there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day for this. We appreciate it. That's kind of wrapping up our Ag Daily. This is planter. And then how big of a tractor do you guys need before we go?
We use an 8110, and I believe it is about 135 horsepower.
135 horsepower. Well, thank you, and we appreciate your knowledge.